Okay, so you've shared this report about a really major event. We're going to dive into that today.
Yes, it's quite serious.
It happened April 22nd, 2025. Pfizer Valley, Pahalgam. That's in Anantnag, Jammu, and Kashmir.
That's right.
We have this detailed report, and, well, the idea is to really unpack the key facts, the immediate implications, based on what's in front of us.
Absolutely. It's crucial we understand what the report tells us happened and what that might mean going forward.
All right, let's jump in. The location itself, Pfizer Valley. The report paints it as, like, incredibly beautiful, right? Popular for trekking.
Exactly. A very serene place, typically,
Yeah.
which makes the contrast with what happened pretty stark.
Totally. So this peaceful scene, then the report says 4 armed terrorists just opened fire on tourists.
That's what the details suggest. A sudden violent attack in this, tourist spot.
And the numbers. The report is very clear, and they're grim. At least 26 people killed.
26 dead, 25 Indians, 1 Nepali national.
And 17 others injured as well. I mean, it's just a horrific human cost.
It really is. Each number is a life, a family affected. It underlines the sheer brutality of it.
So after this awful event, the report says an unknown group calling itself Kashmir Resistance. They claim they did it.
Yes, claimed responsibility. Kashmir Resistance, a name not widely known, apparently.
But, and this is where it gets complicated, isn't it? Indian security agencies, the report states, they suspect this group might just be a cover.
A front, yeah. Specifically for Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen.
Both Pakistan-based groups, right. So what does that suspicion tell us right away?
Well, it suggests potentially that this isn't some brand new movement, but maybe existing networks using a different name. It's a known tactic, really. Obscures the actors, maybe tests reactions.
Right. Okay, so a lot of suspicion there. And India's reaction, according to the report, was immediate and strong.
Very strong. Prime Minister Modi condemned it, of course, vowed justice. That's expected.
But beyond the words, the actions mentioned in the report seem pretty significant.
Oh, definitely. The report details several major steps. Reducing diplomatic ties with Pakistan, for one.
Okay, reducing ties and closing the Atari border crossing.
Yes. And perhaps the most striking one, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty.
Wow, the Indus Waters Treaty. That governs water sharing, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Suspending that's a huge move.
It's massive. It signals extreme displeasure and carries potentially significant, diplomatic and even economic weight. It's not something done lightly.
Clearly not. Closing borders, pulling back on diplomacy, questioning a major treaty. It shows how seriously India viewed this attack.
Absolutely. A multi-pronged, very forceful response.
This wasn't just a regional issue, was it? The report mentions international reactions, too.
Yes, widespread condemnation came in pretty quickly.
From who? The report lists.
The U.S., the U.K., Israel. Also, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Key international players condemning it quite clearly.
So a unified message from abroad, essentially.
Pretty much. And the report notes some specifics, too, which often mean more than just, like, a general statement.
Like what?
Well, it mentions U.S. President Trump apparently calling PM Modi and Israeli PM Netanyahu expressing solidarity.
Ah, okay. So personal calls, direct shows of support, that does carry extra weight, doesn't it?
It does. It suggests a deeper level of engagement, of concern, beyond just the standard diplomatic disapproval.
Okay, so international solidarity is there.
Yeah.
But the report also talks about the local reaction.
Yeah.
Within Kashmir.
Yes, and this is really important context, I think.
What did it say?
It mentions local Kashmiris holding a candle march, a show of unity specifically against terrorism.
That's powerful, especially given the circumstances. It pushes back against, any narrative that the locals support this kind of thing.
Exactly. It highlights a desire for peace within the community itself. It's a crucial counterpoint.
Yeah. But the report also mentions the potential hit to tourism, right? Which is sad because it had been recovering, hadn't it?
It had been showing signs of revival, yes. So an attack like this in a tourist valley, it could really damage that recovery, which impacts local livelihoods directly.
Such a tragic cycle. Violence undermining the very economy the region needs.
Precisely.
So the report kind of wraps up by framing this not just as like a terrible crime, but as something more.
Yes, it frames it as a direct assault on India's security and its sovereignty.
Okay, so elevating it beyond the human tragedy to a national security issue.
Which, in turn, justifies the strong government response and the ongoing efforts by security agencies to, find the people responsible.
Got it. So let's just recap the core points from this report.
Mm.
We have a deadly terrorist attack, horrific scale, in a popular tourist spot,
Claimed by a shadowy group, Kashmir Resistance.
but with strong suspicions, from India at least, that it's linked to known Pakistan-based organizations like Leti or Hizbul.
Right, triggering a very strong Indian response, diplomatic, economic, border closures.
And drawing wide international condemnation, plus specific shows of support from leaders like Trump and Netanyahu.
And importantly, a local reaction showing unity against the violence, even as it threatens their recovering tourism industry.
Okay, that covers the key details in the report pretty well.
It paints a very clear, very concerning picture of the immediate situation and fallout.
So maybe the final thought for you listening, based on everything we've just unpacked from this report, what are the bigger picture questions here? I mean, thinking beyond the immediate events, what could be the longer-term ripple effects of an attack like this on regional stability,
And on that delicate balance of international relations in South Asia.
Exactly. What are those enduring impacts, not just for the governments, but for the people living there and, well, for all of us watching how these things unfold? It's definitely something to keep thinking about.